you need to loosen this up. Okay. Okay. Glued on the flange. Let's see. Okay. It was just had glued on the flange there. Has a rubber flange, so okay, I have access on the inside. This big thing here is the encoder, and the cables that come in there. Alright, so if the motor is mounted already on the actuator, you don't have to remove anything but the top, the back there. You can reach the cables. Oh, it is. Okay. And this is the wire we need to replace. It has the yellow green is the ground, earth. Right, you can see it going down there to the earth. Okay, let's start on that. So the cable on the connector side has the blue, red and yellow for the three phases, and the yellow green is the ground one, as you can see here, connects. Okay, so but on the cable I have has the same color coding that like the one that goes it plugs onto the servo, which is blue, red, black. So I'm going to replace the yellow here with the black for that face. So you can see here, this is the W face. All right, there and the U. All right. So I'm gonna have the same color coding like here. Alright, let's start the operation. So I measured the cable to be the same length like the entire cable with the connector, but I'm not gonna use the connector side of that. So it will be straight from the servo up to inside the motor, so I can have the continuous sealed. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna strip here a little bit of length so I can have enough space to join the cables, and I'm gonna use shrink wrap that shrinks with heat, so I can cover the cables after I join them. Yep. So let's start by cutting the length we need here. Alright, then we have to remove it from here. And it's not need anymore. And we're gonna have to pass the cable from the old path. So here, before we do any joint back. All right. So the best way to cut this without damaging the shield will be open it like this a little bit carefully, so to strip it without damaging the shield at that point. All right. Then cut it carefully. That is the best way to keep the shield intact. This is actually the wire we're gonna use for the shield. Will be this here, little copper touches. That will be for the shield. And then we'll have to strip the wires a tiny bit. Oh, no, don't forget to cut. Don't cut too much. I'll have to redo that, but just to see. Okay. Be careful not to cut more strands than you should. If you cut more, it's thin. You have to redo the whole thing. Alright, I'm back. Let's clean up this. Make sure we have everything. Length. Okay. Just gonna roll it a little bit. Okay. Now this is the drain wire, which I'm not gonna connect on this side. It will be connected on the other side on the yellow cable, the connection on the servo drive. So all the shielding will be grounded actually on the servo drive side. So I'm gonna cut this short. Here. Now, if you get one of these wire strippers, make sure to set the little screw there to have the correct thickness, so when you cut it, it won't strip more than what you need. So I'll just cut enough so you can pull it cleaned up. Okay. Right, now this is short. Gonna need more of this. I'm gonna make that the same. Cut some extra, I don't need. these two. If you strip them too short, add a little bit more. Okay. Alright, now that goes color to color, except the yellow and black on this wire, how it will go together. So let me attach one. I'll continue the video. So the easier way to join the cables would be putting, let me put the zoom there, roll them against each other flat, as you can see here. And this way they don't have too much bulge when you put over the solder. And don't forget, before you do that, to cut a little piece of shrink wrap and pass it in the cable before you do the join. I'm gonna show you how we do the join right now. Let me put on the soldering iron. So some solder. So you have to heat it up first. Well, and then start melting some solder on it. Okay. Now, if it doesn't align well, before you proceed, you might want to straighten it up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Let's put some more solder. Okay, that will do it. Now the smoke comes up, it's still from the insulation burning, because it's very close. But after this is done, let me put a zoom on so you can see better what's going on. You just have to put the shrink wrap over, right, and just use a lighter to heat it up, and it will be done in seconds. Okay, that's one down. Alright, let's do the rest. Okay, so there's another one here. So the yellow inside is actually the W face, which corresponds to black that goes on it, and the yellow green is the ground, which corresponds to the yellow that goes to the screw. Now, I'm just gonna go over this here. Making sure I didn't left any area. there. Now another one. It's not very fast procedure, but it's doable. So you have to wrap it like this against each other. And it should stay. Alright, let's put some solder. Feel free to put enough solder, making sure it's all white correctly. Alright, yeah, that's the. Alright, still smoking. Now let's over it. Let's light it up. Don't put the flame for long there. Gonna repeat it again. Okay, don't want it to catch fire. One more. Gonna keep this away. All right. Let's do another one. Good. Nice. Okay. Looks good. Now you can wrap back a little bit of shielding, or even, just cut it out a little bit. It's okay. So you can arrange the cables a little better. Okay. Now this needs to go inside as much as you can. Okay, so we can close it up. All right, it's okay to have a little spare there. Okay, yeah, let's close it here. You can see how it will okay, that's why. Making sure these are straight. Now if you don't do it enough, it will come out there. Don't want to do that. So I'll try to get as much as I can bend in there without leaving any of that. Okay, close it like this. Okay. Alright. Okay, so after we put this back together, the back over, we'll have to put this little rubber thing that we can use to align the cable and hold it from sliding out. So I'll put the cover on it, and just close a little bit here. Come on. I think I got one of them. Okay, now this cable here is secure now, won't be coming out. So I only have the quick connect for the encoder cable, and the other one is now just this, which I'm gonna connect on the servo drive. But first I'll have to clean the end. It's will do right now. So I'm gonna strip a little bit of the end. And that should be enough. Gonna strip a little bit here, and gonna collect the drain little wires to connect to the shield together. Now let's strip some wires. Strip some length with each Y. And this a little longer. Now the yellow wire at the drain are gonna have to be connected together, and make it like a little turn like this, which now I'm just gonna put some solder on it so it doesn't start reeling when I'm putting it on the drive, on the screw terminal. But adding it once, just a little bit to keep the threads together. Okay. It's really hot. And we'll put sort of the rest. Okay, so we're going to the rest. Same with the rest. Just apply a little turn. Just making sure that you can screw it right on the drive easily. Okay. after you tin this, okay, so you can see all the edges now are tinned together, and the ground has connected the sealed wire to sealed drain. And you can trim the sealed cable about that much. I think should be sufficient. Okay. So before we connect everything on the drive, we'll check to make sure there is no shorts on the cable when we connected everything inside. You can do that by checking each cable against each other. So this is mega ohm, which is fine. It's mega ohm because it's touching my hand probably. No, there's no connection there whatsoever. So if I check the other one, this will have 5 ohm, which is normal. Six ohm, 5 ohm, 4 ohm. This is the coil inside. So when you touch it against the actual earth, you shouldn't be getting anything. Also, you can check how much is actual resistance on your probes when you touch it together. For reference, this is like 0.0 ohm. So when you measure here 4 something ohm or 5 ohm, it is fine. It is the resistance of the coils of the motor. Okay, now let's wire this in the motor on the servo drive. Now on the servo drive, because we're not using now the same coloring, you'll have to put the corresponding coloring in there. So from what I note from the motor, the corresponding wiring should be: the red is the brown, which is U, the blue is the blue again, that is V, and the black it's the W. But of course the yellow wire will be the yellow green down there, goes to the screw. Right, and I did it, I bend them like this so you can put them easily in the screw and tighten them. Let's try it right now. Do I have my screwdriver somewhere? There it is. So you can put one by one. So the brown, replace it with the red. Okay, now the blue is replaced with the blue again. So it's a little tricky to get the pen down there. I have to remove almost the whole screw, and then it sits down. It's secure. And let's do the black one. And I'll do the ground here too. Alright, that's the old cable. Alright, so there, how it goes in there. Nice and secure. You have the seal connected to the ground of the servo. Right, it took less than it's on the video. Actually, I just had to prolong it longer so I can show details for some parts. So it won't be hard to replace the servo wire with the shielded one. Now there's black ones you can use with black exterior. I have some links I'm gonna post with this video where to get this one, the white one, as well some black versions of it. I was just in a hurry to get one to try now, but if you get the white one, you can just paint over it or something. It's just PVC, I think. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So next video will be trying the EMI measurements, comparing that and the one with the tape. So let's see. Thanks for watching. Okay, now I changed the whole wire with the shielded one and all the way there. I'm gonna do some tests. Let's see, the motor itself generates a little bit. The scale is on 1 volt, so I can get 1 volt in my peaks there, perhaps. On the cable, on the shielded cable, I see a little bit coming in, which is negligible. So all the way while I'm testing it. If I test right on the cables, you'll see it goes really high there, up to probably 5-6 volts detected. On the drive itself, it's really bad too. Okay, so yeah, looks like it's working. All the way there, nothing is transmitted. All the way in the motor. This is the encoder cable, which is again has the same little measurements. Let us see on the shielded part now. So looks like this mod is a success. I'm gonna power up the other one too, that has the partial shielded cable, to show you in the next video. So I have the other one powered too, but before I want to show you quickly how to set this up to detectors. So you have to change the Psi range, that's the ground position. Let's make it a little higher, so the blue line is almost in the middle. Next is the voltage level, which we need to change it to 1 volt there. Okay, and that's it. Now I shall be able to detect signals here. Alright. Okay, Now this is the one that I have sealed it with the tape. As you can see, I have this one with little jumper wire. On the motors themselves, they're loud. On the shielding, it's still a little bit. That's what I see here. On the unshielded part that isn't sealed yet, look at the difference. And this is the one that has the replaced wire, which is much more quieter than even with the one of the sealed. I think it's even more quieter than that. So if you ask my opinion, I think it's better to get just a new wire to replace it. It will have way less noise. Okay, so you just have to get rid of the old power cable that goes to the drive all the way up, and the connector and everything, and just replace it straight from inside the motor up to the drive. And as you can see with this one, I have actually the ground that's connected to the shield of the cable. It's connected to the actual ground there, so it has good connection. Alright, let me move the motors.